Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads for New Comic Book Day, 12/14/2022. Well, hey, happy New Comic Book Day! A little late than I am normally by releasing these videos, but hey, if you know me, there's nothing normal about what I do. So let's get right to it. Over at Boom Studios, we have, well, Grimm, issue number 6. This, in some regards, starts kind of a new arc for Grimm. Cool thing is this story is it's exactly what I was hoping for. I'm really enjoying this ride. It's a cool look at someone who's kind of victimized into a job that they don't want to do. That's how I'm looking at it. And it's been pretty cool. It's been an interesting story about an interesting circumstance, and I've been having a lot of fun. So that's why Grimm has been on my most anticipated read every month. Moving on from Boom Studios, we're going to cruise over to DC. When a member of the Wildcats was first introduced to, or not necessarily first, but was kind of reintroduced to the DC world in a full-fledged way in Batman, if I recall, issue number 101. That could be off. Anyways, I knew Wildcats was coming. I was so excited. Wildcats was a team that I enjoyed back over in the Image days, and being that it's being reintroduced in a new way into the DC universe, hell yeah. That's all I can say. That's why issue number 2 is on my most anticipated reads. Well, in part, it's within a handful of tomorrow, 2014. 2022, December 14th. I'm tired. Been up a lot of hours working. Sorry. Cruising over from DC, going over to Dynamite. We're going to check out Cherish issue number 2. Why? I had a lot of fun in issue number 1. Reason? The synopsis is this: an individual witnesses her parents getting murdered and then infiltrates the family responsible for the murdering of her family. The family didn't know that there was a witness to the occurrence, and that is the background story to Cherish. It was rather an interesting read, the first read, and the art I really enjoyed. Um, Dynamite has really been roping me in on their new. It almost seems like they're going in a new path because it isn't just what they've been doing in the past. Being that we got Darkwing Duck coming up, and we have Gargoyles that just released last week. We have Cherish, which to me is a different type of story. And then, which next? Well, I'm going to also announce Sweetie Candy Vigilante. That to me, which issue number 3 is a great, fun story that, in my opinion, Dynamite don't normally do without throwing a whole bunch of sexiness into it. This is more fun than all the little, what did I say, playthings, pinups. There's a lot more to these stories, and that's why they've been on my most anticipated reads. I never thought I'd be saying Dynamite is beating out so far DC and some of the other companies that I normally read. It's just been an awesome ride. And you know what? This goes to show you, you never know when you start reading things where that path will lead. Moving on down that path, we're going to cruise over from Dynamite and over to Marvel. Marvel's going to give us a few titles here that I've been really anticipating for a while. You've heard me talk about these titles to some depth, and here we go. Dark Web is here, issue number 1. Finally arrives. And yeah, I've been looking forward to this. Between Dark Web number 1 and Amazing Spider-Man issue number 15, this really kicks in the high gear, this whole Dark Web saga thing that we've been anticipating for a while. I know I have, and I'm sure some of you have by now too, that have been reading the issues coming out from the Amazing Spider-Man that's been evolving and leading up to, well, the release of I just mentioned. Dark Web issue number 1 and Amazing Spider-Man issue number 15, both of which are pretty high on my list of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. Cruising over from those titles, we're going to go over to, staying in that Marvel universe, well, we're going to cruise into the origins of Marvel. universe, something like that. Anyways, what this gives us four titles that kind of gave us a strong, um, well, what we have is a premise of today. You know, some of the strong titles that we enjoy, and the universes that they started that we enjoy, and actually a lot of the side characters that we have today are because of, now I can't personally afford the original titles, and you know the replicas are cool, but when you can get four titles in one book and pay just what was it, $7.99 I think, yeah, I'm gonna go that route. So that's why it's on pretty high on my list for my most anticipated read for tomorrow, which is Origins of Marvel. I'm gonna go from Marvel over to Image, and we're gonna start it out with Art Brut. Art Brut is a title that's given to us by the creators of Ice Cream Man. This is a unique title. Now, don't get me wrong, Ice Cream Man is unique in itself and great, especially the new title coming out tomorrow. Art Brut's a little more surreal. I mean, it's different. It's based upon the idea that art and it has its own life of itself per se, and a depth and a world all of its own. So when supernatural activities of some form start happening to the actual art, there are a kind of like a task force that is assigned to it, something like that. And Art Root is one of our main characters in that. It's odd. It's awesome. And that's why Heart Brood is way high on my list. Issue number one comes out tomorrow. So that's why it's just, I got a taste of it. And I love the art. So if nothing else, check it out. And if you're a fan of Ice Cream Man, check it out. Now, Art Brood is one thing, but there's a ride that I've been definitely enjoying since issue number one, which is Dark Ride, issue number three. Dark Ride is a perverse way of looking at an amusement park. It's uh, Disneyland sold its soul. That's probably the best way to put it. It's just awesome. It's chaotic, and it's just one of my most wild rides as far as enjoyable, as far as far fetched, I would say. As far as just, wow, where are they going to go next? Is why it's really high on my list for tomorrow. However, that being stated, my blue light special and my most anticipated read for tomorrow is, well, Nightclub. Nightclub is not only one of my most anticipated reads, but it's kind of a specky thing. One, it's only $1.99. Can't go wrong. Two, it's part of the whole Miller World thingy that he ended up selling the part and rights to Netflix. So right off the bat, they are entitled to the storyline if they want to go ahead and develop it. But they don't even have to make it announcements per se. They can go ahead and do things in the background. That's how a lot of things are done when you go ahead and pre-sell rights to your stories to when people buy. Jason Aaron has done the same thing, and it really works advantageously for developing film. And the reason why is they don't have to go through the messiness of sitting there and bargaining with stuff. They already have something already pre-written. It's pretty cool. It's already considered a franchise, and it's already in development of how things could translate as far as in the movie and all that other stuff. And so, I mean, aside from all that, it just seems like a very unique tale. I like how Mark takes something kind of simple, some that every day, and then just twists it and puts like a little supernatural thing to it. That to me is cool. It's Mark. It's his own little Mark. And that's pretty much it for me. Entropy. So make sure that you get the lists that you particularly enjoy. And that's what I want to make sure. Take care.